Oh, hey friend. Look who's back trying to be consistent on YouTube.
Yeah, little old me.
January went by a flash and a lot has happened to my crochet world. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sabrine and I'm a self-proclaimed crochet artist that do these monthly vlogs about the projects that I made during the month. I said all this, but this is my first vlog. I did post an introduction video last month. You probably did not even see it because it had 6 views and 4 of them are mine. I knew it was not gonna blow up because it's my first long form content, but 6 views is kind of sad. And the only reason why I added those 4 views, not because I was trying to run up my views, but because I wanted to make sure that the video was not pixelized and it was the right format and everything. But yeah, go check my video out if you want to know more about the background of why roulettesafari exists in the first place. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. I am one of those artists that accept custom orders. Personally, it's a love-hate relationship between custom orders because when I'm doing them, I'm like, oh my God, why did I even accept it? This is so hard. Like, it'd be a struggle. And I'm like, why did I think that I can actually do this? And then when I'm done, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually made this. Look how beautiful it look. It also helps me getting out of my comfort zone and increase, my portfolio. There's also a chance of unrealistic customer expectations. I always try to tell the people that reach out to me that I am going to try as hard as I can to keep it as close as possible to the pictures you send me. But again, I'll try to keep as close as possible, but it's never going to be exactly the same. It's not like it's a painting and you can add more to it. This is crochet. So it's really every stitch. I don't like, some people do paint their crochet pieces. I feel like it defeats the purpose of crocheting, so that's why I do multiple change of colors. If the color change is wrong, then you have to frog and then restart, so it's a lot of work. So far I haven't had any complaints, or maybe they did and they were just too nice to tell me about it and they hated it, or I don't know, maybe they just didn't want to tell me. Oh no. So far, I've had good comments about it. So I should be fine. There is also a layer of emotional attachment. In my case, the customs I receive are pet customs. So some of them actually do want to recreate or remember by a pet that passed away. So I have to take that into account, and they actually do. It is scary because you don't want to tarnish their memory. Another thing is you might also undervalue your work and your time. It happened to me last month when this customer reached out to me because they liked how my paired keychains look like. Low-key, they are my best sellers, one of my best sellers. And they wanted it to be to me to recreate their pet, their bird, they conure, into a bigger size. I did give them a price because I didn't think it was going to be too complicated, but it ended up being so much bigger, so much more intricate. And I realized that I undervalued my work. So I did reach out and I told them, hey, by the way, I would still honor the price that I gave you, but just wanted you to know with all the work and the extra material that I use, I think it should be this price. And I was really lucky. They said, yeah, of course they paid up, but it comes with the territory. If you do customs, please believe that maybe like 80% of the time you are undervaluing your work because you don't really know how much time, because you never did it before. I know some artists, they usually just take a deposit and then tell the price later, but I usually take the full payment in advance just in case, so that way I don't have to deal with the aftermath of just a client disappearing on me and me staying with inventory that maybe nobody else would actually buy. For January, I made this beautiful custom black and white bunny. The customer said that their niece's pet passed away and they wanted me to make something to remember them by, and they really liked the bunnies I've made. I'm not sure if they saw the gray bunny or the white and black bunny that I made. Probably the white and black. They sent over 2 pictures. Those pictures were not really enough for me to exactly recreate the same exact thing, but it kind of gave me a general idea of how the pattern will go, or how the white streaks will go. Since it wasn't showing the whole bunny in itself, I assumed it was the only pictures that were comfortable sending, or maybe that those were the only pictures they had. And it kind of gave me the green light of just freestyling, the streaks. And honestly, it was a difficult piece to make. Crocheting with black yarn is hard because I feel like I'm blind and I cannot see my stitches. And I wanted to make sure that the white streaks were, the most realistic. So I had to refrog and then make sure they look fine. If it didn't look fine, I had to redo it. Like it was a really difficult piece to make. But the end result came out just so beautiful. Like it was so pretty. I couldn't believe it came out really nice. Another amigurumi I made for January is the Pushita from Chainsaw Man. I've had the keychain listed on my website from the beginning. Well, probably like last year. My sister did request me a keychain, so that is the reason why I initially made it in the first place. I decided to add it on Etsy, and it low-key kind of started to get traction. I've had to ship 5 keychains for only the month of January. So yes, 5. So 5 bodies, 5 chainsaws, 10, mouth, and 20 legs. And 20 handles. It was, I don't know why I keep making these pieces so small, but like, it feels like I hate myself, and my hands honestly hate me when I keep sewing the stuff or I keep crocheting the pieces, but it comes out so beautiful. Like, it's just so tiny and dainty. It's just nice. This is, okay, this one looks really ugly. This is the first, look at this. This is the first one that I've made for my sister. And he looked so ugly. He looked so ugly to me that I was like, yeah, I cannot give you this. This is not okay. So I remade one and I sent it over to her. Look at these stitches. Like, it's not, now I make sure that I attach the black and the gray inside so it wouldn't. But when I tell you, like, these are really tiny pieces. It's really small. Yeah, and then I think I need to do something about this flimsy part. I don't know if I should just double the chain and then, make it together so it could be harder. So usually before I ship it to the customer, I steam it so it can stay, hard. Maybe I need to put some glue so it harden. I don't know. So far, I haven't really received any complaints, so we'll see how it goes. If you've looked at my Etsy page, you might wonder, oh, I don't see the listing anymore. Did you take it down? Is it because you don't feel like you had so many, you don't feel like making any poshitas anymore? Nope. Etsy removed my listing. Because what? Because a random person with a random company, and I looked that company up, it looks like it's a scam, just reported me saying they are representing Crunchyroll and I have a IP infringement. And honestly, I do know that Pushita is, intellectual property, but I don't think it belongs to Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll only owns the right to stream the anime and not the actual characters. But I looked up the company. I even reached out to them and tried to have a conversation because I don't want to put it back on Etsy and have them take it down. Then my account just is banned because most of the orders I get for roulettesafari comes from Etsy. But it sucks. It's like there are so many other shops. They still have their listing on the shop. And I'm just a little shop. I don't been like, it kind of sucks. It's not like I have 100,000 orders. I just, it's just kind of sad that I started to have motion and they just ripped the carpet from under my feet and they say, no, you shall not be great. Then, you know, my first YouTube video flopped and it's just, no, I'm just kidding. It's okay, I'm not, I'm just being dramatic. If you want a chainsaw keychain, it's on my website. Just look it up, but don't tell nobody. I've also made, I had to remake this green chikunur. One of my clients, you know, reached out to me like, I really like this one, can you remake it? And yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to remake customs because it's not like I'm writing down when I change the colors. So I'm glad that I took a lot of pictures so I was able to kind of remake it exactly as it was, and she liked it. You know, I also made this whale from this beautiful yarn over here. Honestly, this is a difficult yarn to use. See how it's fuzzy? And but it's such a nice, beautiful color. Yeah, I made a little whale from this little keychain that I sent over to my client that ordered it. So those are the only pieces that I made for the month of January. Lastly, I've been dropping consistently on my social media, and I'm honestly pretty proud of myself. The only thing is that, for example, all the pieces that I made, I have been recording, and I just have been dropping one video every week with just repurposing, I think that's the word, repurposing the same, you know, content, but with different words and different shots. I hope it's not too redundant. I hope people are like, oh my God, I've already seen this piece. Like, this is boring, unsubscribe, or unlike, or please do not show me this page anymore, you know? Let me know how you feel. What do you think? Do you think it's okay? It's just easier for me to keep the same, so that way I can have multiple content and I do not disappear from the end of the earth. It's just easier instead of just overworking myself making a new piece every week. My videos did get some views, just on TikTok though. Instagram still hates me. One video actually did good. I looked at my insights though. It's actually Facebook that pushed more than Instagram. I don't know, maybe I just, you know, but at least I have a certain presence on social media. That's the most important thing. And if anybody is trying to look me up or trying to see if I'm a scam or not, at least they can see that I'm consistent and I have a presence, you know, and I'm not just a bot or something, or I am drop shipping crochet from somebody else. They can see that I'm actually making the pieces. Let me know if people would disengage just because they're seeing the same thing, you know, for 3 weeks straight, or even 4, depending on the case. Are reaching the end of my updates. January has been full of surprises and, you know, excitement, and definitely was not dull. Will I get an answer back from the scam account that reported me on Etsy? What plushies will I be making for February? Will I prevail against the next threat? Found out next on Dragon Ball Z. That was so lame. I hope you enjoyed yapping with me, and I'll see you next month.